Welcome to my fourth and final selection video for Rocket Summer 2025, an event created by Michael K. Vaughn. In this video, we'll consider 4 books from the 1960s, 4 vintage SF books. Once you've viewed this video, you can go to a post on my channel page where you can vote for the one that you would like me to read and review. That review will be posted in the 4th week of July. Rocket Summer is a great event because it has a lot of people posting vintage SF videos in July. If you go into the description for this video, you'll see the other co-hosts for this event. And of course, do visit Michael K. Vaughn's channel. And now we go into the 1960s. There's a lot of focus on post-apocalyptic literature as we are still in the middle of the Cold War. It was a doomsday clock ticking away on the world. And then we have the Civil Rights Movement, the Vietnam War, and hippies. The good old science fiction was starting to change as well, and towards the late 60s, in England, Michael Moorcock, with New Worlds magazine, started something that was referred to as the New Wave, and Harlan Ellison in the United States was encouraging another type of New Wave, one that was challenging the status quo. So let's take a look at 4 books from the 1960s. The first one is from 1962, J.G. Ballard's The Drowned World. This is an SF Masterworks from the early 2000s. This one was not reprinted in the Yellow Spine SF Masterworks, so it's a bit of a rare find. One of the brightest stars in post-war fiction, says Kingsley Amis. Let's take a look at the back. We'll read first about the author and then the blurb for the book. J.G. Ballard. Ballard was born in 1930 in Shanghai, China. After Pearl Harbor, his family were interned in a Japanese prison camp, an experience which inspired his most famous novel, Empire of the Sun. It is also a really good movie by Steven Spielberg starring a very young Christian Bale. After coming to Britain for the first time in 1946, he studied medicine at Cambridge. The Drowned World was his first major novel. The illustration of the cover is by Jim Burns, and it's quite a captivating image. The blurb. In the 21st century, fluctuations in solar radiation have caused the ice caps to melt and the seas to rise. Global temperatures have climbed, and civilization has retreated to the Arctic and Antarctic circles. London is a city now inundated by a primeval swamp, to which an expedition travels to record the flora and fauna of this new Triassic age. The Encyclopedia of Science Fiction by John Clute and Peter Nichols says, this novel, with its brilliant descriptions of an inundated London and an ecology reverting to the Triassic, gained Ballard acceptance as a major author. So there's your first choice, The Drowned World. Next, we have Brian W. Aldiss, Greybeard from 1964. This one is a Yellow Spine SF Masterworks edition. In my previous video about the 1950s, we also had a novel by Brian W. Aldiss, so I'm going to skip the author bio here. Let's go straight into the description. Since the accident, when nuclear weapons were exploded in orbit, mankind has been sterile and no children have been born. Civilization has crumbled. In scattered enclaves, the old live as best as they can while nature overwhelms the cities and roads. Algie Timberlane, Greybeard, and his wife, Martha, embark on a boat trip down the Thames to the sea, journeying through the strange new landscape, encountering extraordinary communities and people in search of hope. So, 1964, Greybeard. So we had 2 authors from the UK. Now we head back to the United States. Roger Zelazny, Lord of Light. One of the 5 best SF novels ever written, according to George R.R. Martin. They were buddies. They were friends in Santa Fe, New Mexico. The bio. Roger Zelazny, 1937 to 1995. Few writers have made a more immediate impact on SF than Zelazny. each of whose first 3 novels won a major SF award. Altogether, in the course of his career, he won 6 Hugo Awards and 3 Nebula Awards. Born in Ohio, he lived for most of his writing life in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And the blurb for the book? A distant world where gods walk as men, but wield vast and hidden powers. Are they truly immortal? Who are these gods who rule the destiny of a teeming world? Their names include Brahma, Kali, Krishna, and also he who was called Buddha, the Lord of Light, but who now prefers to be known simply as Sam. How has the colonization of another planet become a reenactment of Eastern religion and mythology? This novel was the winner of the Hugo Award for Best SF Novel of the Year. John Clute says, Zelazny's most sustained single tale, richly conceived and plotted, exhilarating throughout its considerable length. I neglected to say Lord of Light is from 1967. Now, I have this slightly out of order because the next one's from 1965, and it's from an author who's not from the UK or the US. He's from Poland. Stanislaw Lem, The Siberiad. This is a modern classics from Penguin. There's an introduction by Christopher Priest, and here's what the back blurb says. Most cosmic civilizations long for things in the depths of their souls they would never openly admit to. In the strange, surreal world of the Siberiad, outlandish events abound. 2 ingenious constructors travel through a medieval universe offering their technical expertise. A machine capable of creating anything that starts with the letter N meets an untimely end. Kings oppress their people with parlor games, and PhD pirates demand ransom in knowledge rather than gold. It is a world where UFOs land silently on lawns at dawn, and where even the stars can be rearranged for advertising purposes. In these fantastical short stories, Stanislaw Lem rewrites the laws of reality, space, and language itself to take us on an anarchic and darkly comic journey through a newly imagined universe. So this is a collection of stories by Stanislaw Lem. If you are interested, here are the contents. And there is a bio for Stanislaw Lem on the first page. Stanislaw Lem, 1921 to 2006, was born, I'm going to just say, in Poland. His family was swept up in the disaster that overwhelmed Poland in 1939, enduring first Soviet, then Nazi, and then again Soviet occupation. When Eastern Poland was absorbed into Ukraine, Lem was, like almost all the Polish population, forcibly relocated west, settling in Krakow, where he studied medicine at Jagiellonian University. His first stories were heavily circumscribed by the demands of Stalinism, with a constant need to suppress or rewrite according to the needs of the communist authorities. It was only after 1956, following the Polish thaw, that he could write within manageable constraints. Lem's books include The Siberiad, Solaris, which has twice been filmed, The Summa Technologia, His Master's Voice, and Tales of Perks, The Pilot. During his lifetime he sold many millions of books and won innumerable literary awards. Lem was described by the New York Times as a Jorge Luis Borges for the space age, who plays in earnest with every concept of philosophy and physics, from free will to probability theory. So, a very interesting fourth book, a collection of short stories. So now, it's up to you. Here we go. The 4 books that were published in the 1960s. If you go to my channel page, to the post tab, you'll see now a post where you can vote for which one of these books you would like me to read. It starts off with a description of week 4 of Rocket Summer, and then you have the 4 selections. The Drowned World by J.G. Ballard, 1962. Greybeard by Brian W. Aldiss, 1964, The Siberiad by Stanislav Lem, 1965, and Lord of Light by Roger Zelazny, 1967. For the 1960s, it appears that we're traveling the world from the UK to US and Poland. I'm very interested in seeing which book you vote for me to read and review. Please do make a comment either on this video or in the poll about why you voted the way you did. In my next couple of videos, I'll have a book haul from the month of June and then an announcement of the books that I'm going to be reading in July. So you have time still to vote. Until next time, keep reading.